Hello, welcome to episode 159 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wild Card.
And every week, Stevie Wild West Card and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues that life throws our way, and we get something done. Most recently, we've been working on a supernatural action horror comedy comic called Deathless. We're on issue 2, and Steven, we have huge news for the people this week. Sometimes we fail.
Ginormous news.
Steven, sometimes we fail. Mostly you fail. I have very, very rarely failed in our endeavors, and don't check the tapes or any of the episodes. Never look back.
It's not like there's like documented evidence of our lineage of failure.
But okay, we're equals in this. We've been working on this sort of thing together for a long time. We've had our ups and downs. Most recently, we have had some ups. Steven, we completed this freaking book. Steven, how do you feel about it?
I feel fantastic. People have gotten to obviously read their digital copies. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. This book is like, I don't want to say leagues better or leagues further than the first issue, but it's definitely like we're definitely ascending. You know what I'm saying?
So great. I will say that it is a step up from the last book. We have leveled up this book. If you want to check it out now, if you didn't get a chance to back the book when it was on Kickstarter and you didn't get the digital bundle that we sent out, you can go check it out now on www.wehaveissuespodcast.com. We have the links to all of our books. You can buy anything on our website. We have them digital, and we're going to have our newest book in a physical print as soon as possible. We're getting that actually. Yes. Steven, that was my biggest news for this week. Was not only did we get the book done, we sent out all of the digital copies to everyone, including my first solo book, Bullet and the Beast, including
which is cool.
Yeah, including our Ostrich Colony scrapbook, including Play It Again, including so like we sent all these books out to people, and I'm so excited to like be hearing back from people about that. And dude, right, like the same day I did that, I also just shipped off for our test prints to make sure that the book looks good. So fingers crossed. I didn't do what I did last time. Last time I put all the eggs in a basket. Not always the smartest thing to do. It is a thing I've done before, so I'll probably do it again. But this time, I didn't throw caution to the wind. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a little reserved here and try to be smart about this, because we did take some like creative liberties with some of like the lettering and some of the lighting effects. I'm just like, we want to make sure this book looks glorious in print, like as good as it does digitally. So we printed we're having some copies printed.
We basically have trauma from Play It Again, because Play It Again had some issues with. Granted, with really Deathless, we did kind of redefine how we did that, and we learned a better way to do it. But that Play It Again really messed us up. It really gave us some PTSD when it comes to printing.
So for anyone joining our show for the first time, first of all, thank you. Welcome. Please the subscribe button and, hang out for a minute while we, talk about this stuff. Normally what we do is we talk about making our comic books and what we're doing. Then we talk about the things that distract us, the things that, get in our heads, the thing that we've been thinking about all week, nonsense, aliens, monsters, that kind of stuff. And then we talk a little bit about, what we're going to do next week and how we're going to like finish these books. Steven, so like I love this book. I feel like it looks really good in digital, and if it doesn't look exactly like that in the print, I'm going to cry, because when we went through Play It Again, like Steven was saying earlier, we printed the first copies. The digital copies looked really cool. We were like, this looks amazing. I can't wait to get this. And we printed some test prints and it looked trashy. Like it was just like the effect didn't work. A lot of the colors were like muddled, and it was our fault for like not understanding how the layers were going to work when printed and such. But we learned a lesson there. But like you were saying, dude, yeah, we're totally like trauma bound.
I think back on it too, and we went the penciled sketchy route with Play It Again, and obviously grays and greens are pretty simple. Like they kind of lay on the same spectrum of color sometimes. So like I think the greens just completely drowned the pencils, and then it was not a good time.
No, but we had our failures. We learned from them. We've ascended since then, and now we are comic book gods, Steven.
The way I feel about the lighting effects in this one is Barreld's Rainbow Punch from the first issue came out perfect. So if his Rainbow Punch came out perfect, I'm sure we're gonna be fine. But
I think so as well. Like I think so. I think it's gonna be great. Everyone, like, go to wehaveissuespodcast.com and buy a digital copy and let us know what you think of that. And then also buy a physical copy when they come out. And then you put them together. You tell us that they're exactly the same, and also that you love them. And oh my gosh, please like this book. I think it's a good book. I think it's funny. I think we've only heard. Of course, we're only going to hear really positive things because no one's going to say jack to us. No one's going to say anything if they don't like our book. You keep it to yourself. It's none of my business. That is not my business.
You can burn it on your own and just not mention
your
it.
Butt with it. I am not concerned. You draw mustaches on everyone. I've considered doing it myself. When you get this book, you just
you can hit the dislike button on it 15 times if you want.
Exactly. Not concerned at all. However, don't tell me. It's not my business. I don't want to know. I won't look at the reviews.
We will pull a Liebwin Rostro. Ain't my business.
Ain't my business. So, but otherwise, dude, what have you been up to this week?
So, aside from, doing some light vegging with the new Mortal Kombat game, because I haven't been playing many video games lately. We have amazing friends over at the Don't Make It Weird podcast, and in issue 2 of Deathless, if you actually put an eye on the arcade cabinet throne room, you will see a little arcade cabinet, which is a little parody of Double Dragon called Triple Wyvern. And it features the 3 members of Don't Make It Weird, Sean, Dina, and of course, Daniel. Sean commissioned me to actually do like a more detailed rendition of that. And I finished that. And this is that right here.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Epic.
Yeah, dude, I love that. Not only do I love it, I'm super jealous of it, and I hate you for doing it. I saw that, and I was like, remember when we were friends and you used to draw me every day? Remember when my face was the one that we were like, I can't wait to chisel this.
42 pages, baby.
Like, dude, I'm getting to the point with this book where our next issue, I'm gonna buy the cameo. I'm gonna buy a cameo in our own book just so I could be in this one.
I should have at least, I should have put you like behind Douglas as he's walking into the arcade with like your stuff, with like the gramophone and stuff like that, because you were in the first issue.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting FOMO, right? This was better, and it's without me. And I'm like, is it better because it's without me? Steven, I don't.
No, we just got to release that like director's edit later. Like, oh, but Anthony was there the whole time. It's just you in every scene that we just didn't notice it.
Speaking of things that people thought we didn't notice, but we definitely noticed, Steven. Someone who read our first book approached me, and they messaged me, and they were like, did you notice that on one of the D20 in your book, it's a number 21? And I was like, of course I noticed. We did this deliberately.
It was completely intentional.
There's no chance that anyone made such a mistake. Definitely neither of us would do that.
No, this is actually what we like to call the best troll ever.
That's right. So for those of you who haven't had a chance to read our Deathless book yet, the characters in the book play a Dungeons and Dragons-esque tabletop role-playing game, and I'm sure they also are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not their favorite one. Their favorite one, the one that they're shown entertaining themselves with in the book, is called Caves and Wyverns. And Stephen, what's that one thing about Caves and Wyverns that makes it like very distinct?
So in Caves and Wyverns, they actually have a D21 dice, and what that D21 dice is it's a 20-sided dice with a sidecar of a 21 for like the super critical roll. Like when you land on the 21, it's like you win. The dungeon master.
You're the dungeon master now.
The cave master just loses the game and has to become a player now.
The cave master comes to Earth. Oh, I'm sorry, I went full Shaggy in that one. Oh, actually, just because my voice cracked, and I know this is like a total tangent, but I'm interested in just to know like what your experience was with this. So growing up, like as your voice was changing and you were like coming into your own and like like learning to speak as a human person, do you remember like the differences, like the evolution of your voice beyond a simple like pubescent crack?
So I genuinely don't remember having like the Peter Brady like situation to me. I feel like my voice isn't like that deep. So I feel like I just like kind of slowly got a deeper voice, like,
Mhm.
you know, and like I just didn't notice it over time. Um,
Because
yeah, because I even listened to like home videos of me when I was like 6, and like my voice isn't that much high. I mean, it's higher, but
Mom, yes, I would like a
Mom,
sandwich. It's actually
how
deeper. Like,
dare
what?
you serve this hot dog not cut in coins?
So,
Hogwash.
crust. So no, but so I because I was thinking about it and I was like, I wasn't even thinking about it in terms of like puberty and like that. I did experience that. I could like I'm sure you did to some extent. You know,
Mhm.
like most people do to some extent.
Maybe
But
just not as traumatic, or like there wasn't like
yeah,
enough like interpersonal moments where it made me like really remember those
right. And
cracks and
that's
stuff like that.
yeah, that's fair. And like because I did have those. I remember having a few moments where it would be like, yeah, what's good? And you kind of do the thing where like, why then? You know, like it could have happened to any other. I talk, you know, and just like you get so
How you
mad.
gonna do this to me in the middle of my riz? Like, we
So
didn't call it that back then. I forget what we called it, possibly game, but
charisma.
charisma. Yeah.
Charisma. But we were just Polly shoring about it until it was turned into a real thing.
Ease.
So, so while we were cheesing all over the place, um, but what I did remember, what I do remember, like that I did specifically, is I used to do like a falsetto thing pretty often, where like I'd be like, you know what I'm talking about, and I'd like do that, where like, and I remember having like a huge period of my life where I would just be like. Yeah, I don't know. It was almost like not like Bobcat Goldthwait, but it was
Yeah.
close, like to like because I'd slip into it all the time, and I was just like, I remember feeling as a kid, like I mean, I feel like I'm getting to the age now because we're old now, but I'm like every age that isn't this year, I was a kid,
Yes.
but like
When I was 32, child.
child,
Absolute child.
so
26, child.
basically
23, believe it or not, child.
so I don't know, it's gonna blow your mind. So when I was a child, I remember having that doing that and thinking distinctly I don't have a voice. Like I remember thinking like I don't know what my voice is. And I would always feel like I can do this if I want to. Is this what I sound like? Yes, I would like to, but no paper, not plastic. I'm not a monster. Like I could do that, or I could be like yes, oh god, and so you kind of, it's like, okay, what, like, to what extent is it affectation, like when is it appropriate, like when you do certain thing, and then like I would do the falsetto thing, I'm like, okay, what do I actually sound like? And like, so it's just interesting to think about that, but then we eventually kind of settle into like this is who I am, although every once in a while I meet someone and I'm like, you're doing a voice, right?
You're
Like,
doing
like
a voice. This is a
this
character.
is the character. There's no way. There's no way. Like I see it because I work retail, so like I hear people in their like having conversations on the phone, having conversations with themselves, just not. But I just listen all the time to these people, and sometimes I hear people and it's like, you know what I'm telling you. I'm like, what did you just say? What? Well, are you a villain? Like, are you someone about to fight you? Like, no, it's weird though. It's interesting.
Like when that guy gets home, he's like, he takes his hat off, he undoes his jacket, he puts on the hook, and then he goes, "Hey, honey, how's it going?" I was walking around all day doing this crazy voice, but I'm home now. I can sound like this if I want to.
Were you doing voice number 3 or voice number 4? Which one?
I was doing voice number 3. You know I was.
Oh, everyone's always intimidated by voice number 3. It's my favorite. Gets me all going. I get it. but yeah, no, but it's interesting how like we do that. And like I remember, what's it? John Mulaney has that whole joke about being in the bathroom where he's like, "Oh, I become a completely different person," and it's funny because he does like the twist because like I thought because I do the thing if I'm in the bathroom and someone knocks, like, I'm in here, and you kind of like grunt, like I grunt.
It's
like,
it's our silverback gorilla moment,
yeah,
where we gotta kind of beat our chest. Like,
yeah, and
I'm pooping.
and he went the other way with it. Where he was like, "Someone's in here," and like someone's in here, like he gets like really high, like, But that's it's funny how like we have like those different designated character voices for different moments. But
I find the most effective is just yo. Like when someone knocks, like, yo, oh, I'm so sorry. You make them hit the I'm so sorry.
It makes me want to go around knocking on bathrooms just to hear like what people like what their call is. Like what because like there are different.
What's your bathroom message?
What's your bathroom message?
What's your bathroom voicemail, essentially? Is what it is.
I mean, that's what it is.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
the person you are trying to reach is defecating right now. Please leave a brief message.
There really are like those weird human moments that we don't think about and we totally take for granted. Or like, okay, my favorite thing that we don't ever talk about, no one ever mentions, is that humans have natural like sounds that we make. Like we have like chirps that we make all the time. And no, like people do that all the time.
Like all their sound effects that
all
we do.
All the little sound effects we do. Like you have a thinking sound. Like if a bird did that, you'd be like, I wonder what that means. That means he's thinking. He's thinking. You're so smart. You know, like no, like we do that. It's incredible. It's hilarious. But yeah, dude, it's like voices and stuff. It's also weird, like just becoming a person and kind of like I mean, every day we kind of choose. I could go out and use voice number 3 if I wanted, like and like some people do, and it's like good for them.
There's actually a friend of when Tina's family was all together still prior to divorce and all that. There was a friend of the family that would come over, and she was completely American accent up until one moment where she just decided she's British now.
I remember.
And then just acted British. And as if no one would.
I dated someone who pretended to be Irish for a while after we dated. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes. And like, I mean, the data's there, man. We saw you before. Like,
yeah, it's bizarre. And you kind of want to be like, no, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I like where you're going with this. You went to the character select and you're like, let's change this voice. I don't like it. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know we were allowed to do that. But it's cool because we do kind of all do that to some extent. We just like, it's interesting. Like, of course, we all have like our boyfriend voice, the girlfriend voice, like those voices, and we have like the customer service voice. We have like the, like the parental voice or like the authoritative voice when it's necessary, and like it's interesting to see like, but they're not all the same, But there are some people who are just like, ooh, my sex voice is definitely British. Like, well, I guess, but
my sex voice is Shokan, which is Goro's race of people.
Oh man, it's interesting though. Like I've had to like recently. Oh, so if you watched our last episode, like recently I went through a breakup, and I kind of had like I've been having to think about that lately, where I'm like, what do I actually want? Because like after a breakup, or after like a loss of any sort, it's like your life is different to some extent, and you have to figure out like what it's going to look like going forward. What's this going to be in like how long do you mourn this thing before like being open to new experiences, if you're ever going to be open to those new experiences. So like I was thinking about it, and I forget who, but someone on Twitter was just like, it's been a year since you've kissed someone. Like, you need to get out there. And I was just like,
get out there, brother. Like,
yeah, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was just like, you know what? They're not wrong is the thing. It sucks because like there is a part of me. I mean, like jokes aside, there is a part of me that's just like I want to get out there and like kiss the people. Like I want to get.
You wanna kiss the girls.
But the frogs have to be there, or else it's just not the same.
If they're not singing "ooh la 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 la," part.
Who wants it? Not for me. But yeah, dude. So there was a part of me. So the other night, Steven, I was like, okay, I downloaded Tinder, and I was like, because this is how I look at it, right? I look at it like I'm not gonna date. It's kind of like window shopping potential futures. You kind of look at it and it's like, I'm not going to
because you never know what you're going to stumble across. You literally could hit the lottery and find your forever, like
it's true. That's true. And I think that's part of it is I hate using metaphors with dating sometimes because I'm like, I don't want to, it feels like objectification or what, because it's like, but the truth is like anything else, like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, it's like, I
love when Michael Scott said that.
Yeah. Right. So like, if you don't cast a net out there, you're never going to catch a potential fish, so to speak. So I was like, okay, you know what? At the very least, I can look and I can feel one way or another about the potentialities of this. I can look at it and be like, oh, at least I see that there are people who I'm attracted to in the area who seem to have something like in common with me, like some interest in common, you know? So I was looking and I was just like, there are so few people. Like I am so picky, Steven. Like
I've
Steven,
narrowed down the search. You're like that episode of How I Met Your Mother with Ted in The Matchmaker,
yeah,
where she says,
yeah.
like, there's no one in New York City for you.
That's exactly how I feel. But yeah, dude. So I got to the point, like I was scrolling, and like yeah, of course there are some people. There are some like beautiful people, and like and they, like there are beautiful people I have nothing in common with. There are some people I have a lot in common with whom I have no attraction to, and there are some like I hate how it works. I hate how brains and bodies can work, and how attraction works, and how all that stuff. Like it's maddening, and I can't stand it. And like it's not really what I want right now, but it was fun. It was fun for a minute, to just like look through and be like, oh, okay. I can see that like it's fun, but there really isn't a lot like that I can do at this point. I don't like I'm at the age where it's like most people are like married or like dedicated to single life, or they're like cynical in a way that I find to be like overwhelmingly unattractive, or it's just like I like my profile whenever I go on those things is like kind of light and like just like, hey, this is stuff I like, this is who I am and want to be, and this is what I do. And a lot of people on there seem to and I know it happens, like you get chiseled by the experience you have with the various people, like trauma will just like stomp you into it one shape or another. But like these people, their profiles would be like, I'm not here for any bullshit. I'm like, okay, but like no one is. Like that should be like it's like anyone who needs to read that isn't gonna read that. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
and the people that read that, they're just like, oh shit. I was gonna give her that bullshit.
I was about.
I was gonna give him that bullshit, but you know what?
It was locked and loaded. Can't do it anymore. Consent is important to me as a person who needs to read. I need. They don't want my bullshit. What?
It reminds you of that Jerry Seinfeld joke where he's talking about the Superman costume with the warning on the side that says, "Do not put on and fly." He goes, "I'd love to meet the kid that's stuff that's smart enough to read the side of that package, but yeah,
but dumb enough to, yeah.
It's
so funny, dude. Like smart enough to read it, but dumb enough to need to,
yeah.
So I don't know. It was kind of fun, but I also found myself just like, I want to work on Deathless. I don't want to be doing this because like it's a time suck, like it is like there's a like, what am I gonna do? I if I focus on this thing, and if I spend time scrolling through potential people that like I'm not working on something else, so like I'm not doing something that I could be doing to perpetuate like a future that I want, that I do see. I'm gonna swipe right on.
You have to grind the experience points for your own talent tree, not like a shared talent tree at this moment. Yeah. We don't need a healer or like a barbarian in our group right now. We got the squad we need to take on the Omega level boss, right. So these are just, they're not wasted. Like, it is a tough game. I think you and I just need to start doing more, like we go out in places that are, like pumpkin patch given the time of year.
You don't want to meet a girl at a bar. but
I met a girl at the bar. It was this bar.
It was this bar. So I have been like thinking about that. I was like, I stopped going out, when I was in a relationship, when it was long distance relationship, and like I just wasn't going out. And like the day I would normally go out, which was Wednesday nights when I'd go do the open mic night and stuff, we would watch movies and we would do stuff. So I wouldn't go out, and which was good because like that's what that time was used for. It's used to socialize with the person I want to be socializing with. And at this point, I'm like, I should be going out and doing open mic nights again. Like why am I not doing this? So I'll probably start doing that because it is fun and it's something that like I get to just enjoy. Like I get to kind of just do it for me, and like, and there is the potential for some random cute stranger who happens to have things in common with me, walk in there and like, like if they're there, then they have something in common with me, because who like goes to this random tattoo place in Fort Myers, Florida to watch, like stand-up comedians and, musicians? Me. But yeah, I do. And I'm going to do it again. But anyway, dude. But yeah, it's just, so I guess like for now, I'm just like situated with just like, I'm going to focus on the comics, which I started outlining issue 3, by the way, and I'm excited.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just going to start going out. I'm going to try to focus on Deathless. I'm going to do what I can to just like focus on doing our things, making the movie, and just like trying to create this future for myself and then hopefully maybe someone shows up and is there along with me. Like
Basically just be like the ball of energy that's attracting the other,
yeah. I mean, that's really all it is.
that's all you can really do.
Yeah, because I mean, the truth is, I don't want to ever get in a situation, and not that I have, and it sucks, dude, because I hate even talking about this stuff because I feel like okay, I was gonna say the thing I'm gonna say. So essentially, I don't want anyone to ever feel that I'm resenting them for taking my time away from doing the things that we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't, but I can understand that inclination. Like I think I understand like where people would get that idea, because there is a frustration there. I'm not like I'm not stupid, but you have to neglect something, like there's always a cost, like what are you gonna do?
24 hours in a day, and if we're lucky, we sleep for a third of that, which
Yeah.
most of us probably push that boundary. But yeah, the other 8 might be for work, and then you have 8 hours of leisure, which
Yeah.
is usually drive time and shower time, and then it's dinner time and family time, and like stuff.
Yeah,
Time
dude.
goes quick.
There's
you know
opportunity cost no matter what you do. So it's
hmm
like, yes, of course, I know there's a chance I could be doing this other thing, but I'm not, and I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing to spend it with you. However, at this point, I'm like, okay, well, I'm single right now. I'm not looking for that, so I might as well focus as much as I can on this, as if it is the relationship that I want to thrive, strongly, like I would anything else.
hmm
Just kind of like watering the plant that I want to watch grow. You
hmm
know, um, so I did. That's where I am. I've been just hanging out, writing and watching movies. I've been watching a lot of movies lately as I've been, figuring things out. I watched Talk to Me, which was a lot of fun. Although I have so many questions about that movie, I'm not going to spoil any. Everyone go watch Talk to Me, so in the future I can talk about this friggin' movie because I have so many things I want to say about it, but I just can't. But anyway, I'm glad that anyone listens or watches. I really do appreciate that freaking heck out of you, and I know Steven does too.
Absolutely, it's keeps me going. We got like almost 200 views on last week's,
Dude,
right?
yeah, people
People
love
love
to
your
see.
misery.
Love it when I'm hurting Steven. But this week I am not hurting. I'm super celebrating this because we put all the books out. I was so proud to finish all the lettering, and not just the lettering. Like we got this book situated. Like we got the whole thing put together and shipped, like sent out for prints. And I'm dying to see this thing. I can't freaking wait. I'm hoping. I don't imagine we're gonna be able to see it by next episode, but I'm hoping that would be really cool. You know?
That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, I told you I'm doing a live show with my friend Craig. He has an EP he's releasing. He's gonna be doing a show in Fort Myers. He told me I can bring Tina's gonna run his merch table, and he
Oh,
wants me to bring issues that I have.
I'm gonna say bring whatever you want and sell whatever you want, and if we need to order more, we'll order more.
Okay,
We do have the
but
funds, and it's okay.
that noted, if going to the show, like having to stand the whole time is something you're worried about, Craig said that you can sit at the merch table with Tina if you want, and I'm pretty sure it'd be a free admission for you and Tina to get
Ooh,
in.
sweet, that sounds awesome.
So
So, aside from your awesome live show that you're gonna do on Thursday, or what else are you working on this week?
we're gonna go to Sarasota, but while I'll probably bring my iPad. I told you, I have been like kind of redrawing M to get ready for her because her outfit was kind of unique out of all their outfits
Yeah,
too. And I feel like she's one of the characters where I don't just want to throw a hoodie over what she was wearing because her outfit did have a pretty cool design.
yeah,
So, and she doesn't seem like the type that would leave the cultist hoodie on anyway.
no.
She seems so. I've been practicing
Well,
drawing M in preparation. So
I'll say that like she goes home, so like you draw her in like you can do a
oh,
similar thing.
she could be like in like a nightshirt and
Yeah, like she
like
can no, she can.
shorts.
Yeah, well, she can wear whatever we want. So like I'm thinking like because she's very powerful and can do like glamour magic and stuff too. So like she can look like so I do like what you like the design of what you had her in, but I'm just saying like if you
Yeah.
want to play with it, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, because she's gonna
Okay.
we're not Bart Simpsoning it. Although I like the iconic keeping them, to like one or two.
Although they're especially because with their powers, like certain features on their face do change. Like her hair is a little bit more wild with her
Right.
powers, but she still has her asymmetrical haircut, and she's cool. M's one of my favorite ones for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. I can't wait. I think she's one of my favorite characters. She's also a place where we get to explore more of the lore of the book and like backstory and stuff because that's what she's interested in. And like I'm really excited because like I like when it's not like, because we set our book up in a certain way where it's like, you kind of like take down mini bosses working toward a thing. And I'm not like, once we get to M, she doesn't necessarily want to fight the way other people want to fight, so it's going to be interesting. And it's going to help us.
And it's always a good story rhythm when like you make the reader feel like they understand what's happening, and then you kind of like show them like, well, there's like, for example, in issue 2, you're kind of feeling, okay, yeah, it's like this whole vibe. They're like kind of like starting to feel each other out. And then issue 3 is going to come, and it's going to be this whole, like, this is what Deathless is. This is this act, this is what's actually going on. Like, these are the powers that are at hand. And
so
you dive deeper into what's actually happening.
And I like that because like we gave some exposition in issue 1, but I didn't want to go deep into it. I wanted to just kind of like, let's get into this world and throw them into the fun action stuff in issue 2. So then issue 3 will like cut back and we'll try to like, I don't want to like info dump on people. I want to be like, here's a fun story to let you, see what this world is, So like that's what we're gonna go for. So this week I'm going to finish my outline of issue 3. I'll probably start writing a little bit. And I don't know. I'm gonna write as much as I can. That's what I like to do. I'm gonna work in the outline and make sure it's like really tight and like that's exactly how we want this issue to work. And then once I have that, the script shouldn't be too bad. It should be pretty easy the next couple weeks. And then I'm gonna write the movie so we can make that, because I really want to make that freaking movie. That if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out last episode we pitched a movie called Open the Door, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a really good movie. I think I want to shoot it in black and white, Steven. I might shoot it in color, but like I'm thinking black and white. I want to go like Kevin Smith, like throwback, because I also think it adds like a sense of like the bifurcated, like just a duality of like having to do something. It's just like it's like you're either going to do it or you're not. It's a black or white situation. Like, are you going to do it? There are no grays here. Like, do the thing. So I kind of think it just works tonally, and it's also kind of adds like an extra creepiness, and also makes me feel a little more comfortable with like the lighting and stuff, because like contrast is it looks cooler naturally, like inherently with black and white, so it'll just make me feel better, especially in a place like a bathroom where it's like, it's not the most like aesthetically pleasing place to shoot, so
for sure. But black and white kind of makes it look more stylized.
Exactly. Basically. So that's what I'm going to do this week. That's what Steven's going to do this week. Let us know what you're going to do this week. Let us know what issues you've had. Let us know what you think of our book. If you read any of our old books that we send an email, let us know. We would love to hear about those. I think only like 3 people have ever read Bullet and the Beast, and I'm pretty nervous about people just like checking out that book, because it's a thing that I made by myself, and it's weird. And that was before I really like had a handle on lettering. It's like I was getting it. You can kind of see like there's some things in there where I was like, there's some cool little lettering tricks and stuff in there, but like it's not formatted very well. And I can see how
it's not your floosh in issue 2, man. That was
Steven,
it's chef's kiss.
So proud of that.
Or as Daniel would say, it was a chief's kiss.
Chief's kiss. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for people to read these books. I'm excited to hear from people. I hope everyone goes to our website and buys the books and checks them out. And I can't wait to get the physical copies out to everyone, because I know that's when we're going to hear, more from people. People get really excited about having a book in their hand, and, they can read it and take pictures with it and, do all that stuff. So I'm super excited.
That's my favorite phase of the whole process.
Me too, dude. I can't wait. And then Steven, we have a convention in December 3rd.
Yep. And we'll probably see our favorites there.
Edwin's gonna go.
Edwin is going. Awesome. I was gonna say Edwin needs to come. Yeah. By the way, Edwin, you of course have, if you want to, you and Steph and little baby, you want to come stay, we have a guest room in my house. Like, if you guys want to come a day early for the convention or whatever, just let me know.
Awesome. But that's what we're doing this week. Thank you all for listening. We really do appreciate you. If you're only listening on one of the various podcasting apps like Spotify, thank you for doing that. But also, please go to youtube.com/wehaveissuespodcast and subscribe. We're trying to build ourselves there as much as we can and try to boost ourselves in the algorithm. So hit the like button, share it with your friends, see, try to get us out there. It's really hard for us to sell this podcast about, people hear the word podcast and they immediately shut down, or, or they don't know what it is and they don't want to hear about it. And especially because it's the two of us and they're like, oh, they're probably just talking about whatever we are probably talking about. But they're only mostly right. They're also a little wrong.
They're only 88% correct. There's a good solid 12.
There's a 12% where it's Steven's hat. We talk about Steven's hat and they did not count on that.
They did not.
So, but thank you all. We really appreciate you. Steven, what do you want to say to the people?
I love you all. Thank you all for your consistent, incredible support. It really does motivate and keep me on task. I appreciate you, and I hope Deathless 2 is a nice, hey, thank you for everything you've done to allow us to get to this point. I hope you enjoy it.
It's pretty cool. A couple people have come to me and said, it's so neat to see, what we've gone through to make these books come to life. And it takes a lot. And I'm not worried about issue 3, but I am oh God, this has to be a good one, because it is a little more talky, but I think it's going to be good. It's unusual because our book isn't a superhero book, but it's a superhero book, and I want people to enjoy it, and I would be able to eat popcorn and just have fun with it. But also there's more to it, and I think issue 3 is going to start touching on some of those themes in a way that we've only barely kind of hinted at. The
best part about that concern, which I only even think is a concern, but if you do have a genuine worry that the exposition or whatever in it is going to be too weighty for people, you just got to slap a promo for issue 4 with Barreled in the back and everything will be a-okay, buddy. That's true. You just put Barreled coming next, and no, you're not going to lose any readers at all. So
yeah, no, it's true. And I'm excited. I hope everyone's excited for the Barreled and Mary issue, which is going to be issue 4. I can't wait. Okay, but thank you all so much. We really appreciate the heck out of you. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wild West Card.
This has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next time.
Y'all come back now. No, let's get it. Boom. That's that version of boom. What's up?
Just could have seen that coming. Just you and you're okay.
My problem is my headphones are so bulky that I have to kind of wear them like this.
Yeah.
So, but
it works. You look like the Man in Black. You look like you're gonna take out some robots or be a robot.
I'm like Jonah Hex meets Jonah Hill. You know what I'm saying?